Good morning, story trading VIPs. It's probably going to be a slow day today ahead of a 3-day weekend. Not much news out there at all when it comes to individual stocks. There was some non-farm payroll news, better than expected jobs report. Interestingly, the markets are up on that. Usually, we're currently in a regime where good news is bad news because the Fed can be more aggressive. In fact, you'll see that right here in the title of Benzinga. U.S. adds 315,000 jobs in August, more than the 300,000 expected, clearing the path for another aggressive interest rate hike. So usually in this kind of environment, good news is bad news, but we're up on that for some reason. It's pre-market, may not last, but another reason could be that we don't have as much liquidity today. Lots of Wall Street folks are probably out in the Hamptons or whatnot. So taking a look at the charts, you see we're still below these key moving averages, below that 50-day moving average, below the 20-week moving average. So things are still dicey here from a macro perspective, and I am expecting the possibility of further downside to the previous lows is definitely on the table. Now, yesterday we had a conversation on quantitative tightening. We talked about TLT, UUP. We saw that big move yesterday, at least in the morning, where TLT was going down and the dollar was going up. You can see that in UUP. That's because the Fed is now selling off their bonds off the balance sheet, and that's how another tool to raise interest rates. We talked about that yesterday. And then we have oil and natural gas, which we're following. I like to see oil going down. Hopefully, the higher dollar will send it down. Hopefully, recession concerns will send it down. And that will hopefully stave off a stagflation scenario and just keep us in a mild recession scenario. So those are the macro indicators I'm looking at. Now, on to individual stocks. Yesterday, we gave you VTSI early in the morning, turned out to be a big winner. I actually bought a nice amount of additional trading shares. This is one of my core positions, but right at the open, I got the first trade in. It was a 10,000 share block right at $5.40. So that was cool. I bought more throughout the day. And then we got a spike up. I sold 25%. Maybe about 20% of my trading shares right there at the 200 DMA, that first resistance level. When did we get this spike? Well, why did we buy the shares in the morning? It's because they got $9 million in orders, two separate orders. 4.7 million from the IRS. Ooh, that's scary. And 4.3 million from I think Border Patrol or something. So none of these two have been PR'd by the company yet, and they will be. Okay, they absolutely will be. We've seen this in the past. It takes them a couple days until they PR it. I wouldn't be surprised if it came out today, but if not today, I would think definitely by Tuesday. Now, 2:30 yesterday, Benzinga caught the first one, 4.7 million. They didn't catch the other one. Interestingly, I actually emailed them. I don't know why they haven't put something out on the other one, but there's been a total of 9 million in contracts. So now we actually close above the 200 DMA, and we have two more catalysts coming potentially. One of them is a Benzinga possibly picking up on the other 4.3 million order today, and the other is the company PRing either today or Tuesday. So at this point, I'm thinking, what's the next resistance level? This can maybe do better than the 200-day moving average. So if we move to the weeklies, you'll see the 50-week moving average is around 628, which kind of coincides with the top of these candles here at 650, a little bit higher. So I would say in this area, 628 to 650 could be the next resistance on these catalysts. Do we need those catalysts even? We'll see. Perhaps there's enough eyeballs on it overnight after the strong day yesterday that we just see continuation and we see more investors and traders coming into the stock. So I do have extra trading shares, as I mentioned, already sold some of the 200-day moving average, and I will be setting some limit orders based on some of these levels I've told you about here, next resistance levels. A couple others I want to call out. SMMT, although I didn't get into it myself, we on the show was it was either on August 29th or August 30th. We called out this support level. We had a double support, the 20 and 50-day moving average. Remember, the catalyst here is that huge insider buy, $93 million from the CEO. So had a big move up, pulled back, came to the support levels. So we gave you that idea. I didn't take it. I should have taken it. So you see that's been moving up, and the RSI is still relatively low. It could have more to go. A nice looking chart. So that's an idea there for you. Yesterday, we had a session on our collaborative weekly research session, which we did yesterday on Thursday because I had to reschedule Wednesday session. We talked about a couple stocks, one of them being FREY. This is that battery company that recently had a $3 billion order over 5 years. So we did a little bit of fundamental research together with a couple folks on that Zoom collaborative session, and it looked pretty good. So yesterday was down really sharply. So, I just wanted to make sure everything is good with that, and it looked like it was. So, I got some after the gap up here. I've been buying actually like 2 out of the 4 days here. I've been adding shares for FREY. So yesterday was a little disappointment seeing that big move down, and then it bounced right off the 20 DMA, and hopefully that's it. This looks like a good strong stock. Goldman Sachs has a $19 price target on it. Now, speaking of why did we get this big move? You see this big red candle. We got this in a lot of stocks yesterday that this year were our saviors that really held up my portfolios, because we've been in 5 stocks that have been constantly hitting 52-week highs or all-time highs or 2022 highs. FREY was one of them that just hit. That's a high it hit before it went down. Celsius was another one. Clearfield, another one. And these stocks were just destroyed yesterday. You can see Clearfield, it was down 15% at one point, I believe. Celsius was down significantly at one point, but it actually found support at this level I've been calling out since the Pepsi deal. And that level is $93. Look how many times it won. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it's found support near the $93 level, which I'm calling the Pepsi support line over there, because that's the lowest price it reached on the day after the Pepsi deal. So hopefully that'll continue to hold. And if you look, the 50 DMA is moving up with it. So that may provide a double support at 93 days. Within a couple of days, you can then have a double support at that level. So that's good news. Now, I want to point out NVIDIA, which you guys know has really crashed, first because of poor earnings, and then second because of this restriction to sell a couple chips to China, which they got a waiver on. 2 things of note. Speaking of moving averages, remember the 200-week moving average is the big moving average I've been talking about for the major indices? Well, guess what? NVIDIA is almost there, very close. Let me actually make the 1-year chart weekly. Okay, so here we go. On the 1-year chart, you can see how close it is to the 200-week moving average. So potentially, it's a really good buy here. Now, I don't know the fundamentals of this company well. I never looked into really what they do, and they do some with graphic strips. That's all I know. But if you know this company, you know what they do, you're confident about their long term, and you think the fundamentals are good, this is a great technical level to potentially pick some up. And Kathy Woods did just that yesterday for RK. She had sold before earnings. So I guess she sold here at one in the 170s or close to 170, something like that. And then she picked it up yesterday, probably in the 130s. So good move by Kathy Woods over there, picking up NVIDIA at near the 200-week moving average. A couple of other things. We did not get continuation in SMSI, unfortunately, yesterday. We noted the relative strength yesterday in the last several days, and the relative strength specifically on Wednesday when the market was not doing too well. And we talked about some nuggets coming out of our research room that suggests perhaps T-Mobile will finally do their full production launch of their product. So we didn't get the follow through yesterday, but still holding relatively steady. So that's good news to see. Uranium stocks, I want to point out there was more news coming out of Germany. I posted this morning. There seems to be a lot of positive uranium news yesterday. These did get hit yesterday, pretty big corrections. UUU, CCJ, NewScale actually got hit bad. This is another one that was at the 52-week high, and I think it was just profit taking. SMR, so these are some uranium stocks you can look at, and I'm holding on to these tight. I think they have much higher to go in the intermediate term. LIAC-F had been a disappointing uranium / lithium stock for me. Is there any? Don't see any in this particular feed, but this one's been a disappointing lithium / uranium stock for me. Hopefully it finds support. It went below the 50 DMA, but did it close above it? closed at 177, just below the 50 DMA. So it's a little tedious over there. RSI is not as low as I'd like to see. So this one's been a disappointment. Maybe we have the analysis of this one wrong. I don't know. Fundamentally wise, investors are not really moving towards this lithium and uranium play at this point. We're watching Dario for news. I have a feeling, I know I've been saying this for a long time, but I have a feeling Tuesday may be the day, because based on the suggestions and guidelines that uh, Dario has been giving both to me and other people. There have been emails now that's being shown on stock twits from Dario management regarding suggestions about the timeline for this national insurer to be announced and also the scope of it. Seems like it's a big launch, right? Something really important for this national insurer. Um, and it seems Dario was already expecting this over the last several weeks, so it's been delayed. But I'm just putting two and two together. If it's a big launch that's delayed, you know, you're not going to PR it in the last week of August when people are away. So maybe we get Labor Day's finished, people come back from vacations. In a way, it's a start of a new year. You know, when it comes to school, summer's over, a new school year, fresh start. So maybe it's Tuesday after Labor Day that we get the big news on Dario. Maybe. So I'm hoping that's why it's near the top of my watch list. It'll be right at the top on Tuesday, hoping to see that happen. All right, so that's all I had scheduled. Oh, except CFVI. Where's CFVI? Oh, there it is. We skipped over CFVI. CFVI had a very strong, has had a couple good consolidation days after this huge move up. You can see 3 inside candles. Now, I'm not a technical expert. I just do very high level technicals. I don't get into these patterns or anything too much, but I know technicians love inside candles. I noted there were 3 of them in a row. That basically means there's consolidation after this big move up, and it's consolidating at this higher level, which could be a good sign. 1125 by 1130 here. This, it's going to be a slow day for the most part. Sometimes that could mean low float stocks can have really good days. I don't know. Look out. I'm just saying, put CFVI in your watch list. Okay. Aside from that, I think we may have news soon. Based on a tweet that Chris Pavlovsky put yesterday, almost making fun of YouTube about August. You're like, oh, how did your August go? Because at the beginning of August, I think it was, I don't know if it was a Google account or YouTube account. I guess it was a YouTube account. They tweeted like, oh, it's August already, something like that, like on August 1st. And then Chris tweets back like, oh, so how did your August go? I'm betting August was incredible for Rumble, especially because they had 1 week to get in all of that traffic from Andrew Tate. I wonder if we can see record metrics announced today or Tuesday from Rumble. I think they're going to go on a PR blitz here. You've seen they started the PR blitz 2 weeks ago. The vote is 9:15. Obviously, the CEO wants as much good news out there as possible to support the stock when it de-SPACs. At de-SPAC, you have a lot of volatility. You have crazy moves. You have sellers. So I would not be surprised to see news, possibly even today, on a record August. But again, going back to what I just talked about, Dario, perhaps people are waiting. My newsfeed was almost empty this morning. So, people may be waiting for Tuesday after the holidays to put out anything really important. All right. So that's what we got. Let's just take a look at the newsfeed, see if anything did come in. And no, see, nothing. No, empty newsfeed today. Slow day. You know what? Maybe a good day to relax a little bit. I'll be in the office for an hour or two, but probably not going to be doing any aggressive trading. But we'll see. I think I have my eyes on VTSI and CFVI today, hoping that VTSI gets that nice pop to my resistance levels and I can sell some more. And we'll see what happens to CFVI. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Appreciate your support. Make sure to tell people about StoryTrading. Get the word out. Hopefully our app's going to be coming soon. We're testing it out with some of our investors, our customer investors. We have 20 people from our community who actually helped invest money to build our app. It's a beta app. I mean, this thing's going to take years of development until it's like really polished and stock twits and Twitter and things like that. But the first version is pretty cool, I got to say. And one of the things that we're testing out right now is the ability to view all of these videos and YouTubes and Zooms directly in our app, get notifications when they start, so we don't have to distribute links or anything like that in our WhatsApp group. So that's something we're currently working on, and we can't wait to be able to share it with the rest of the community to make the process a lot smoother for everyone. All right, guys, thanks for joining. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Tuesday. Weekly meetup, I'm not sure if we're going to have it this week. Certainly not over the weekend or Monday night, but we'll see. All right, who knows? I'm going to collaborate with some people in our community, see if someone wants to present something significant, and we'll let you know when we'll have our next meeting. Have a great day, everyone.